All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Welcome to the new Africa. We are going to talk about the situation in the western part of Africa. Nowadays, it has become a tradition that every morning, every here and there, we hear about coup d'etat, military coup in French-speaking countries in Africa, especially the western part of Africa. Um, People tend to believe that it's actually due to the mentality. Okay, is people tend to believe that it's because the population or the military do not believe in democracy, which is wrong. Okay, actually, there is a particular sickness in the western part of Africa, especially the French speaking part of Africa. So, if you do not understand it, you may be inclined to perceive the military coups that have been taking place in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Guinea to be something wrong and bad. You may be inclined to condemn those coups if you don't really understand, what led to those coups. Okay, these coups were actually caused by the cries of the various population of these different countries in West Africa, especially the French-speaking part of Africa. I happen to be somebody that resided or that is from a French-speaking country in West Africa. So I think I am well positioned to express, a non-biased view about what the people really resent or what the people really experience or what the people seek to express whenever there is a military coup, okay, through their huge mobilization and huge protests, okay, in expressing their agreements with the military rulers that happen to overthrow the so-called legitimate or democratically elected president in these countries. Actually, to understand what is going on in the French-speaking part of Africa, you need to know that, well, most or all the French-speaking countries in West Africa, we have a common currency called franc CFA. And mind you, this currency is printed and supplied by the former or still the colonial power, which is France. So, in other words, France prints this paper that is not used in France, okay, and supply it to the French-speaking countries in Africa. And this also, the supply, okay, is done per. There is a cost per supply. For France to be able to print it and supply it, the French-speaking country need to pay France. And mind you, since France does not consume CFA, they have to pay in euro. Okay, and there is a link, okay, there is a link that connects all the French speaking countries in West Africa and France, okay, and that link is what is called the colonial agreement or accord. These are a list of agreement that France forced on its colonies in those days, even though the colonies were ruled by French governors. Okay, so these French governors that are French, they are French, okay, from France, and they were ruling over those colonies, signed on behalf of the African countries or African colonies, okay, to agree. They actually agreed, okay, to certain rules and partnership with France that give all the privileges to France. And among these colonial agreement is the fact that France has a priority, okay, or a privilege when it comes to the resources, okay, the raw material, okay, that are found in the soil of all the French-speaking countries. And aside that, like when a French-speaking country in West Africa sells its raw material, okay, to any country at all. It could be Japan, it could be the USA, it could be any country at all. Okay, France used to keep 50% of that money that's supposed to go into the account of the French-speaking country. France used to keep 50% of it. Okay, and this 50% is also used by France in the form of a loan with interest to the French-speaking countries in West Africa whenever they need money. You see, so okay, with protests, okay, and continuous debates that the various French countries, okay, had in their various television platform, France actually increased the percentage. Actually increased the percentage to 65, which means that only 65% of that money, okay, that's supposed to go into the account of the French-speaking countries in West Africa will go to their account, whilst the rest will remain in France, and France will still use that remaining amount in the form of a loan with interest to those countries. The colonial accords are many. I don't want to have a long video, but I just want you to have a view about the misery, okay, and the cause of poverty in the French-speaking country. And beside that, our central banks do not have the ability to do any monetary policy that will enable, sustainable development in our various countries. Okay, so in other words, we don't even have a central bank. Since our money, okay, our currency is printed and managed by the French government. So if there is no development in Africa, especially the French-speaking part of Africa, it's not because Africans are lazy. No, it's because we are still under a different form of colonization. Give your money to somebody, or give your wallet to somebody, okay? Give your accounts, your bank account to somebody to manage, okay? And see how well it will go for you. Basically, that is it. The French-speaking countries have their resources given to France. Their monetary policy managed by France. They are still colonies. That is why the central bank in most of the French-speaking country cannot do any monetary policy, okay, that will go against the already well-established French companies who actually enjoy optimum monopoly in our various markets. So, any government in the French-speaking country will not dare finance a Dangote in the French-speaking countries of West Africa for him to come in, rival against the French companies. It's not possible. It cannot be done. So the problem of military coup stems, deep to the colonization and how independence were given to most of the French-speaking country in Africa. I don't want to be long. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next program. Bye-bye.